What's good with you peoples? Let's have a smoke session. Now, when I smoke, I like to talk about some shit, right? So, I'm gonna smoke and we gonna talk. You can smoke with me. It might help you understand what I'm saying. Now look, we have a problem. That problem is racism. But not for the reasons you think, right? Because you think racism is a problem because some dude standing over there don't like you. No, that's just the symptom of the problem. It's what you can see of the problem. But racism is a lot more than what people think it is. See, because racism is not white superiority. Now, I know that don't sound right to y'all, but y'all understand in a minute. Now, there's an elite group of people. We can all admit to that. And in this white supremacy type system, you would think that that elite group of people are white people. True, but not in the way that you are thinking, because the people that are elite are white, yes. But it's not white people. See, white people as the race, you talking about Germans, you talking about Englishmen, the whole race. You feel me? Just like when you talk about black people, you talk about the whole race. It don't matter what piece of land you talk about you're from. It's a genetic code that classifies you as a race. It's a border that's invisible and imaginary and some made up name that classify you as a nationality. Let's just get that straight, okay? But I digress. Anyway, back to our smoke section. Now, that person that is the face of racism to you is pretty much that, working class, hateful police officer, construction worker, basically the people that are the gears that keep the society rolling, right? Now, these people are very important. It is important to have police officers for those who can't protect themselves, such as if I'm sitting here in Colorado, my mama's sitting in Los Angeles, and somebody is trying to break into her house and haven't successfully done so yet. She can pick up a phone, call some people, they're going to come, they're going to assist my mother, and I will be eternally grateful. But you have those who abuse that authority, but that's not what we're on. We're really just on the actual ideology of racism and how it exists in today's society, why it came about, and what it truly is, so we can combat it in the right way. Because we keep saying white people this, white people that, but the white people that hate us and us ourselves are forgetting to see is that these white people that we so-called see that are racist, yes, they are a part of that system and they help it keep going. But they're a slave to the system just like we are. How is that? There is a such thing as white privilege, yes. They get treated better by police officers and generally in a systematic way. But they still have to give up their rights to this system. Just like we give up our rights to the system. And we look at that guy over there that's driving that bus because he's looking at us and we looking at him, and none of us is looking at the real elite class of people who hoard the resources that don't even belong to them. They make you pay for land when who said they owned it? If this is truly our country, then the land is our land. So thus me carving out a plot on it and building me my own house and, all that should be part of my right as this being my country. Because if it's my country, I can do what I want in my country. Not, hurt people and stuff like that. We have to be civilized. But I'm just saying, if it's mine, why do I pay you to live here? Why do I pay you for water? Why do I pay you to be able to drive my vehicle? But see, that person that's doing all this is looking at me as if I'm a black man, so thus I created his hardships. Yet every month he's extorted by the true enemy, which is that so-called elite class of people. And the only reason why they are the elite is because we are too busy looking at each other. What gives them power? A military made up of who? You, me. Can't be their power. You can't tell me that you can make a son dominate his mother. Not by saying that. Now you can fool a son into subjugating his mother and helping to subjugate his father and all that, but you can't tell him that's what he's doing and he's going to assist you. So it takes a form of trickery. It takes some type of distraction. Like in the movies, we need a distraction. That distraction is racism. Because see, poverty is poverty, whether you're black, white, no matter what it is. And at this moment, the system that holds up this elite, true elite class of people feeds off the racism. Because we're both on the same level, but you look at me different. Just like another black man that's dark-skinned looks at me like I'm light-skinned, so I don't understand what being black is or something. All these imaginary grievances that they create amongst us, so we stay looking at us instead of looking at them. You're being extorted. You pay taxes, yet your governmental taxes pay for nothing but people to tell you nice things, and you think it pays for welfare and all that other stuff, but that's just a small portion of what they actually take from us on a large scale. I mean, you think welfare is hurting you? You know how many people pay taxes? You know how many people get welfare? Not enough to dwindle taxes. You think we're in a recession because citizens of this country needed help? And I'm not talking about citizens as in a race. Don't get to the race shit. Don't look at this person over here like because he's in America, but he's from, or his ancestors is from Africa, Judea, wherever you want to be from. You know what I'm saying? Germany or something like that. Like that's a drain on your resources or something, because this whole country is made up of people who came from somewhere else. Even the original people here came here from somewhere else, just of their own free will, way before any of the slavery bull smack. And that's out of the question. But let's talk about this racism. It's not really racism. It's a system to keep us divided. It's a diversion, basically. So, to all my people, because race there's a race. We are different. We have different temperaments. We have all kinds of things that classify us as different people, but that's diversity and make us beautiful. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm not upset at a white man. You know why? Because I know several very, very decent, respectable, loyal white men. To me, not to, oh, I watched the movie and this dude was the greatest soldier ever. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in my personal life. I know a lot. I know old white men, gray hair, ex-military. You know, these are some of the most honorable men I know. And when they talk to me, they talk to me as a man, and I talk to them as a man. They're not, pretending to be black. And oh, I'm sympathetic to the black cause. No, they're just humans, and it's not even like you could ever get that vibe from them, as if they're white. And it's a rare occasion that happens in today's society, because we are taught to be mostly on our races. You know what I'm saying? And I got my white boy homeboys, you know what I'm saying? These little young white boy homeboys that, they white boys, they ain't trying to be black, and they ride or die with me. I'm just saying, I'm not against white people. I'm not going to sit up here and say white people are devils, because that's another system. That's feeding into this system of racism. They want us to be looking at each other because we're down here. The person you see is not the person that's messing up your life. They didn't pass that law that makes you have to pay to be able to enjoy your freedom. Because now you have to pay to be able to drive a car that you paid for. Why do you have to pay? Because you have to pay insurance. What if you never get into an accident? But you can never not pay insurance and still have your license. But you can get into an accident and insurance not cover you. That is possible. We all know that. But the nation, your government says you have to pay insurance or we're going to take your license, which you shouldn't have to have in the first place. You buy a car, you drive that car responsibly. You should be able to drive your car. You shouldn't take a license or any of that stuff for basic freedoms. But, that's a whole nother thing. You're not thinking about those oppressive, real actions. You're not thinking about who's really destroying your life. Because if you didn't have to listen to whiny governmental laws. Certain laws, yes, we need laws. We need law and order, yes. But I don't need to be told what to do. Now, I understand the laws of respect. I respect the next man. I don't allow my free will to hinder his. I won't allow his free will to hinder mine. And as long as this agreement is met, I have no qualms with what you do. As long as what you do doesn't harm what I have and my people, my community, my country, my earth. Because it's all of ours. It's not any individual. Life is life. So if life is here, then it is supposed to be here. The white man is not a mistake, not a mutant. This is a completely separate, different human. You feel me? And just like we're a completely separate, different human, and the other races are completely different, separate humans. But we're just like still all human. And different breeds don't mean that we can't get along, and that doesn't necessarily mean we're toxic to each other. I'm not toxic to the white man, and the white man is not toxic to me. But they want you to believe we are. And they want us to behave as we are so that we never look at them. Now you have to have health insurance. So car insurance didn't get your pockets lined enough. Now I have to pay you just to live now. I haven't been to a hospital in forever. But you're extorting me. I go get checkups and stuff. I pay cash. Here you go. How much is this checkup? Bam, here you go. And I walk out and I stack up for things that I really have to pay, like rent. I could understand that. That's not extortion. You got to pay for your abode. Rent. Respectable rent. Okay, cool. That's cool. Things of that nature. I'm not complaining about what it takes to live in this society. I'm complaining about extortion. And I'm not even complaining, I'm just exposing. I've been knew it was a deal. It was extortion to me when it first became you had to pay to have insurance. I have no accidents. Why am I paying for insurance? I drive carefully, so I don't have to pay for my car getting fixed or somebody else's car getting fixed. But you make me pay for the possibility of that. So I'm supposed to drive and obey your laws so this don't happen, but I have to pay you just in case it do. Well, if we got to pay for insurance just to drive a car, we should be able to drive that car any way we want because we paid for if something happens. That would be, I'm paying for a service. Or if I flip my car doing 100, yeah, I'll pay for the damages of the flipped car and my car and maybe me and a couple people, whoever. You know? So why can't I drive at 100 miles per hour? No, I can't even drive over 70 anywhere in America. 75 maybe. Maybe. Why? These are the people that's holding you. These are the people that are encaging you. You can't discipline your kids, but they can. And you allow that. Your government, which is supposed to be your servants, you pay the salaries of these governmental employees. Yet they act like you are the problem. You get elected because they tell you they're going to do this for you and they're going to help you, and they're all about the people. In every branch of government, they're all about the people. But yet, the only thing our government does is enclose the people. You want to make gun laws, okay. Criminals don't follow laws. So criminals will have AKs, any kind of gun you outlaw, the criminals still will have that gun. They still will get their hands on it the same way they've been getting their hands on everything that they can't have. Oh, you can't have this, you can't have that. But yet people have always had everything they said they couldn't have. So the only people that are not getting the protection of what they're banning and all these various restrictions they place on your rights are the people who obey the law. Because the people who enforce the law don't have to follow the law. They get to, you see that every time a police officer go after somebody. You know what I'm saying? They get to do whatever they want to do. Matter of fact, they ain't got to be going after nobody. They just got to be not wanting to sit at a light. They get to do whatever they want to do. They don't have to follow the law. Neither do the criminals. How you going to be a criminal if you following the law? You outlaw guns, then the criminals and the police officers have guns. Who's stuck in the middle? The citizen. The person who is the employer of the police officers. The person who employs the president. All the honest, hard-working, moral citizens of all races are the ones who obey the law. And all the criminals who don't give a shit about those laws are the ones who don't. And the police who don't give a shit about those laws. So, who's the victim? The people that are really setting you up in life aren't black people. It's not white people. They get a couple more creature comforts in this cage where you're told that just because this person over here couldn't drive over 35 miles per hour without being responsible enough to crash their vehicle or something, now you and everybody else can't drive over 35 miles per hour. Yeah. These things are things that I would consider things that are against me because they actually affect me. You talking about you saving me from a drought by adding another constant bill? Now I have to pay for insurance or get the free insurance, which still puts me in insurance. I didn't need insurance. I didn't want to be a part of that system. I don't need your Medicaid, your Medicare. I wasn't on none of that. I just paid for what I got done. I lived as humans do, you know? But now I either have to get that or you going to fine me because I can't afford to have to pay for something I'm not using, won't be using. I mean, I done been in accidents and scraped off skin and all kinds of stuff and still didn't go to the hospital. What they was going to do, put some ointment on me and charge me to let me sit here and heal? Why? I don't need that. I could do that for myself. I went to Rite Aid, got some Band-Aids, some ointment, wrapped myself up, healed myself. But I have to pay, and I didn't want to. I would even if I would at that time, if I would have had insurance, I didn't want to sit in no hospital. So I did what I did and stayed at home. I'm still cool. Everything worked. You know what I'm saying? I grew my skin back. That's what my body does. You didn't do anything that I couldn't do for myself with a little bit of knowledge. But people have no knowledge because they depend on everybody else for shit, and that's what they want you to do. Depend on them for everything. You get a little cold, you want to go to the hospital. You throwing up, you want to go to the hospital. Everything you want to go to the hospital. So now you have to have insurance. So now in America, you can't live without paying for insurance unless you are indigent. What if you're not indigent? What if you have money but you don't want to pay for insurance because you ain't all up in the damn hospital? So I got to pay for a what if to take away from what I do have right now, because I do have to pay rent, do have to pay for lights. And the government tells you this. This is what they told you. And you telling me that I'm your enemy because I'm a black man? Or you're my enemy because you're a white man? No, yes, if you're a white man and you're racist and you hate me and all that other stuff, then you're my enemy. You chose to be an enemy. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but I'm not saying that white people are our enemy. There's a few white faces that nobody has seen, that, and probably some have, that really are the enemy to humanity, to free will, to everything we stand for. All of us. Because what man wants children hurt? I mean, if we went to war right now, I wouldn't hurt a child unless you sent that child out there to be hurt, but then you're the monster. But I wouldn't see a child as a combatant. If he want to grow up later on, get his weight up and try to come test me, then hey, that's a part of life. But I'm not finna victimize a little kid. That's not the way it goes. That's not the warrior way. So why would a white man, whether he, whatever he believe in, whatever religion, whatever social status, whatever, why would he want to see a child hurt? But see, the system makes us all seek that. Because see, there's black people that are evil. There's white people that are evil. There's Asian people that are evil. All the way around the board. So, and there's all of them that's good. White people that are good, black people that are good, Asian people that are good. All the nationalities that came from them three races or have the mixture of all that shit. So, it's not a race. But racism keeps us focused on races and keeps this society divided with all the problems of the division, because we're not going to act like racism doesn't have its effects. These police are killing people with racist intention. They getting acquitted with racial prejudices that they use. Oh, thought he was a grown man and had a gun. Where's your right to have a gun? Unless you know this man was a felon, there is no reason you should be wanting to shoot him because he has a gun. It's every man's right to have a gun. How you know he's not a licensed gun holder. You see a gun and you shoot in a country where we're allowed to have guns? Oh, yeah, that's a good excuse for a lot of dead Americans. Whether it was white, black, it don't matter. How are we being killed by those we employ to protect us? We hire the police commissioner. We vote him in. That's his interview. They have a public interview and we vote him in. Like, yeah, we'll hire this one. Thus, we'll pay him to do the job for us. And he hires staff. He delegates that power down, but he's basically the one responsible to us, the people, the employer, the CEO of America. Not the president, us. The president is hired by us, paid by us, at least his presidential salary, which isn't a lot, but, we pay that salary. He agreed to the job. But yet, he don't work for us. He tell us what to do. And we can't tell him nothing. We don't have the power. See, we focus on our races instead of focused on us, the people. Now, by no means does that mean I'm not highly concerned with the way my race is being treated in this country. But that's a separate issue. And that's an issue that is the results of what we're talking about here. Racism. Something that was put into place to systematically keep all of us poor people, who are not poor because we're poor. We're poor because we decided to allow our employees to take from us everything that was ours. You want an analogy? I'll give you an analogy. I hire a gardener. I say I want roses, tulips, a couple of daisies, and some cannabis growing in my garden. Now, I pay my gardener a set salary that he agreed upon in being hired. He tells me, no, you will have oranges, apples, and grapefruits growing in your garden because I see that that's what's best for you. Then I will be responding in the sense of, well, I guess that's okay. But I wanted what I want. I hired you to do what I wanted done. In this country, we can't all individually have what we individually want done. But as a collective, the collective mind is supposed to be what dictates the government, instead of the government dictating the collective mind. And the reason why none of y'all, well, I'm pretty sure every single one of y'all has figured this out at some point in time in y'all life. This is no new information. Y'all all had these thoughts and analyzed, but the thing is, they always focus it on racism and things of that nature, and then you got to get back to the collective, and they influence the collective mind. So ask yourself, who benefits from racism? You think that average working man benefits from racism? No. It's the man or men who control the working man that benefits from racism. How do you control the working man? You control currency. How do you control currency? Well, it used to be you would have to get a lot of gold. You have to acquire the material wealth to be dominant. But America is no longer based on that, is it? Matter of fact, most European countries are not based on natural resources. They're based on we say so. I mean, they might have some complicated social life, whatever the hell, calculation for what they use to so-called value their economy. But the system of money was originally generated based on gold. And if it went back to being based on gold and actual reality, actually having to have had something to work for, see, then you have to value the people who get you the actual resources instead of just valuing yourself and calling them peasants because they're getting you the resources. See, that would be devastating to this power structure. But you're not going to think about that. You're not going to pay attention to your currency and your society and your rights that are being stripped away daily for all those who obey the law. Because the people who don't obey the law aren't, hey, you can no longer own a shotgun. I couldn't own a shotgun in the first fucking place. What you mean I could no longer own it? Couldn't own an AK in the first place. What you mean I couldn't no longer own it? So I'm not worried about your laws. The only people that are worried about the laws are those who are trying to do the right thing, and those are the victims. Those are the majority of society. That's the majority of the black people, majority of the white people. And they're taught, brainwashed to this racist system to divide us from seeing who's truly doing this to us. See, I don't know about y'all, right? But I'm like one of them realistic people. Now, aside from a white man that stay next door somewhere running up on me with a gun, noose, or some shit like that, racism really doesn't have much of an effect. Because the racists have no power. But the system that empowers the racists, that's the threat. They say they're taking these cases to the grand jury, make big ass spectacles of it, but who knows what goes on in there. It's a meeting of puppets told to do and think what they want to think. You wonder how people could see a video of a young boy shot and not be outraged because somebody told him that young boy was a criminal and this and all these other surgeons and keywords, and they pump media hype, but it's all bullshit. You know what's real? When everybody, blacks, whites, Puerto Ricans and Asians, all y'all, when y'all take back the power of free will, all that'll be out the gate. You gotta take it back by force. No. How you gonna fight each other to get something back from people who will never be in a battle with you? I mean, all these countries just send their armies to war, and the people who are at fault and the people who are responsible for the war and all that will never be in that battle. It'll be us fighting over something that they own, something they say they own, and then they preach racism so you don't realize that you own it. It's a cold diversion, ain't it? How many lives have been lost to a diversion? And it wasn't for money. That's another diversion. They want you to focus on money. Another diversion. Because who hands out the money? Y'all look at Jordan because Jordan got money, but who gave Jordan money? Who signed the check? And who signed his check? And who signed their check? And at the top, you know what you'll find? The Monopoly man just printing that shit off. Here you go. Because that don't mean nothing. But you stay focused on it. You choose your mate based on it. You choose your life based on it. Diversions. Who controls money? Not our resources, not hard work, nothing tangible controls money. So it's a made up power with made up power. Because somewhere somebody said money was worth something. So now I give you my time so you can give me money. And then I give that money back to your system to live in your system. You tax my money that I get from you. I'm going to pay you, but I'm going to take this from it. Why? Why are you taking something from what you're paying me if you're the one paying me? It's crazy. Because all money comes from the government. That's where it comes from. You think you being paid by an employer? No. Your employer ain't got no money. They say he got money, but they say he got money. Where's his riches? Where's his actual, everything that's real, he owe them money for. He could help build it, but he still owe them money for it. You want to live here? You can buy some land, and then you owe them money for the fact that you bought that land. Yeah. We make money, we give money to the people, and then they give it back to us. Money has no value, so basically, we provide the monopoly money. They circulate it amongst themselves and give it back to us. If they don't give it back to us, we print up some more. Make sure that only we can print it, though. I'm just saying. I mean, maybe we getting all off subject and deep off and all this other stuff, but I'm going to end it and hope that y'all can contemplate what I'm talking about. Now, I know I'm not a rapper. I'm not some rich dude. I'm not even the dude that they showed you on the TV. But I'm me. I have free will, and I'm pretty damn intelligent. All I ask is you take a second and you think about your freedoms. God-given freedoms. You know? The rights to live, the rights to feed yourselves, things of that nature. All these things. And then you see who you need to point the finger at when you're thinking about who makes those things hard, who takes away from those things. And I would ask that you devalue money in the process of thinking about this. Because if your ultimate goal is money, paper flows abundantly from people who make paper. Just saying. So, this is the end of my smoke session. You should pay heed what God speaks.